Hi there. Have you ever asked yourself, what's God's will for my life? I know I have. With all the possible directions my life could go, how could I possibly know God's will for my life? But then I realized something. That's the wrong question to ask. Instead, we should be asking, what's God's will? In fact, God's will is the same for every follower of Christ. Sure, it plays out differently in individual lives, but the foundation is the same for all of us. He is actually molding us into His will, not the other way around. Think of it this way. Imagine God's will as a river. What do rivers do? They flow, they move, and keep moving. You can't stop it. It's going to continue with or without you. Most people stand on the riverbank asking the question, what's God's will for my life? Hoping some of it will splash up onto them. Well, we really don't have to ask that question because God is very clear in the Bible what His will is. Take a look at Matthew 22, 34 through 40, known as the Great Commandment. Some Pharisees are trying to trap Jesus by quizzing Him on the Old Testament. Jesus is pretty savvy and in 2 commandments sums up the entire Old Testament, which He wrote, by the way. He sums up thousands of years of history and commandments with, love God, love others. So how do we love God and love others? By following God's plan in Matthew 28, 16 through 20, known as the Great Commission. Go look it up. God's plan to save the world is by taking once broken sinners and having them multiply their lives by having them make disciples of all nations. So what's God's will simply put? 1. Love God. 2. Love others. 3. Make disciples. This all brings God glory, and that is His ultimate will for everyone. So God's will for your life is God's will. Love God, love others, and make disciples. Instead of standing on the bank of the river, God is asking us to jump in and let His will carry us wherever He takes us. Wherever you are in life, whether it's a mom, a policeman, a businessman, an athlete, you're called to love God, love others, and make disciples. Maybe you'll be a doctor, in construction, or even the president. Love God, love others, and make disciples. Make no mistake, God has created you for His glory, and when you bring Him glory, it is for your good. So what are you waiting for? Jump in and enjoy the ride.